Okay, before we go ahead and actually set the main photo functionality on the client, I do want to take a small detour, and I'd also like to display the user's image on the navbar as well, so that we can demonstrate the ability to use signals to update one thing and see other things react at the same time. So when we do select a main image, for example, I'd like to see the main image change here and also in the navbar at the same time. Now we'll need to do a bit of setup for this because we're going to need to return the user's main image when the user logs in. So we're going to start off in our API and we're going to open up our user DTO, and we're going to add another property inside here, and it's going to be a string and it's going to be the user's photo URL. Now they may not have an image, so this one will be optional. And then we'll return this in our account controller when a user does log in. So we'll go to the account controller, and we only need to do this on the login method because we don't have anything really going on just now with the register. We'll come back to that later. But inside the login method, we'll specify the photo URL, and we're going to set that to the user.photos and say first or default, and we'll say x goes to x.isMain, and then we'll select the URL. Now because this could be null, we get the appropriate warning, and we'll use the question mark to say sure, that's fine, our photo URL could be null and we are okay with that. So then we need to go to our client, and we're going to go to our user.ts file because we've also got an interface for our user here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll specify the photo URL, make it optional, and it's going to be a type of string. And if we take a look at our account service, then what we have in here currently, when a user logs in, we're setting the user object inside local storage, and we're updating or setting our signal. And we're doing the same in the register method as well. And just in case we need to set our user elsewhere, then we'll create a method to do so inside here. So I'm just going to create a separate method below the register and say set current user. And this is going to take a user of type user, and we're going to effectively do this. We're going to cut the local storage setting and also the setting of the current user here, and we'll say list.set current user and pass in the user. And then we'll just do the exact same thing for the login method as well. We'll replace these two lines with the this set current user. And then we'll go to our nav component template so that we can display the user's main image inside here. So just below the drop down and before the welcome message, we'll add an image tag, and we'll give the source of the image, and we'll set it to the account service current user, and then say photo URL. And this of course can be null, so we'll add the alternates, and we'll say in single quotes, we'll say period / and we'll say assets / user.png, and we'll move down the source and the alt because it's going off the screen a bit, and for the alternates I'm just going to say user main image. And if we take a look at our progress, then boom, we're displaying something on the navbar and a pretty giant image. Obviously we need to add some styling to that, so let's head back to VS Code and we'll open up our nav component CSS, and we can target the image tag, and we'll set its max height to be 50 pixels. We'll give it a border, and we'll give it a 2px border, make it solid and make it white, and we'll give it a display of inline. And if we go and take a look at that, that's a bit more like it. It's a bit more appropriately sized image for our navbar, and I'll just give it some margin right to move it away from the welcome user message, and we can do that inside our nav template, and I'll just give the image a class, and I'll just say me-2, and if we go and check, then great. But we're not going to see our user's image until we have logged out, and log back in again. So let's do that. So let's log out of Lisa and I'll log back in. I'll say Lisa and password. And when I do log in, well, that is a disappointment. Where is our image? And let's go back and take a look at our code. Now, inside our account controller, this is where our photo URL is being set. And why do we not have our image? Well, you might want to investigate this yourself, or perhaps you already know what the cause of this is, but I would encourage you to pause the video and see if you can figure out why we're not getting the image back with our user DTO. And I'll provide the solution in approximately 3 seconds if you do want to pause the video and have a go at figuring this out yourself. And now I will display the solution. So we need to think about where we're getting this user from. And if we take a look at the code in here to get the user, well, we've got our context injected directly inside this controller, and we're going out to get the user from our database. But based on our understanding of related properties, then we know that if we just request the user without also including the related data, then because of Entity Framework's laziness to go and get related data, we know that we're not going to get the photos unless we explicitly ask for them. So we need to do that. We need to effectively give this an include, and we'll say p goes to p.photos. And let's move things across and move this across as well. So with this in place, this should give us the main photo when we return it, but I'm going to check the status of hot reload. Well, it says it's been successful. Let's give it a chance. And I'll log out of Lisa. And we've still got the credentials populated inside there. We'll deal with that a bit later. So I'll log in. And this time we get success. We now have the user's main image. So good. And what we'll take a look at next, of course, is actually setting the main image inside here.